1, Harvard in 2, Cal in 3, UCLA in 4, Santa Clara in 5, and Colorado is in lane number 6.
And we return to the start. This is the men's JV8, Heat B. We have alignment, and we're working on final point. Weather is calm. The wind has continued to clock around. What was an easterly, southerly is now starting to come in from the west. And we have a start of the men's JV8. Out quickly in lane 1 is the University of Washington, which has already established a 1-seat lead over its rival Harvard. All boats have cleared the 100-meter mark, and we have University of Washington now 3 seats over lane 2, Harvard University, lane 4, UCLA, and Santa Clara are 2 seats over UC Irvine and Colorado. At the 200-meter mark, it is University of Washington rowing at 37 strokes per minute over Harvard in lane 2. Washington continues to pull out, still rowing high. Have now shifted, now at the 400-meter mark has shifted slightly, but no lower than a 36.5. They're 37 still. They are one length over Harvard. Washington is 1 length over Harvard. Harvard is open water over UC Irvine and UCLA. Then we look outside to Santa Clara and Colorado. At the 500, Washington crosses 1 length over Harvard, which is open water clear over UCLA, followed by 2 seats UC Irvine, and it has 2 seats over Santa Clara, and Santa Clara maintains a 1 length lead over Colorado. That is your call for the 500.
This is event number 18, the men's collegiate JV, the second heat. In lane number 1, and our current leader, University of Washington. Harvard is in lane 2, Cal Irvine in lane 3, University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA in lane 4, Santa Clara in lane 5, and Colorado in lane 6.
This is again a men's second 8 of their programs. University of Washington have really put the pedal to the metal down early in this race, established a dominating lead, but so have Harvard over the rest of the field. This is likely to see, you're likely to see a repetition of the previous heat here. A race for first and second, and then a dogfight between the rest of the crews in the race for that third qualifying position for the grand final between the University of California, Irvine, UCLA, Santa Clara, and Colorado. Those 4 programs are programs which do not get a lot of freshman experienced rowers into their programs, so these are still relatively inexperienced rowers compared to the rowers in the Harvard and the UW boats.
Washington and Harvard on the lead. And if they have quite a bit of open water back to the rest of the pack, we might even see a little gamesmanship going on here. The rest of the pack is Cal Irvine, UCLA, Santa Clara, and Colorado, pretty much in that order. Inside 1,000 meters to go. It is Washington on the shoreline with the lead. Harvard on their outside shoulder. Back appears to be about a half, 3/4 of a boat length. And then we go to an extremely tight race all the way across the back board there, with possibly Santa Clara having a slight edge with UCLA right with them. Cal Irvine, and on the far outside is Colorado. UCLA moving up just a bit.
And it's notable that the Harvard University are doing a far better job of hanging on to the University of Washington than Stanford did in trying to hang on to Cal in the previous race. So we can see that the top 3 positions, or the top 3 crews in this event, the Junior Varsity 8, the class crews are the University of Washington, Harvard, and Cal. And those 2 boats, Harvard and University of Washington, separated themselves here. But as we saw in the previous race, it's really tight for that 3rd spot. But the crew that has the advantage at the moment is the crew from UC Irvine, from just up the road in Costa Mesa.
Irvine's out there in lane number 3. And we will probably acknowledge but not pay a whole lot of attention at the moment to Washington and Harvard 1-2, because they apparently, unless something tragic happens, will move forward to the grand finale of this particular grouping. So we will watch the battle for 3rd, and right now Irvine has the edge on it.
7 minutes.
Santa Clara out there in lane number 5 is still hanging in there in the middle of the pack, UCLA, and then outside Colorado. So the war will be for 3rd. On the lead is Washington, as they have been almost throughout. Harvard stroking comfortably and easily. Neither crew has really picked it up. It looks like Washington has picked it up just for drill, if nothing else. And we turn our attention back to Cal Irvine, who has shown now an open water lead in about the last 250, 300 meters, has opened that up a bit. It is Santa Clara now being challenged by UCLA, but those crews would not move any farther forward than where their positions dictate at the moment. So it appears that Cal Irvine, again, unless something very unusual happens, appear to have a lock on that 3rd position, but there's kind of a boat race going on between UCLA and Santa Clara. UCLA and Santa Clara. Santa Clara with about a half a bow length lead. UCLA might just make a run out of it just to prove something. Trailing is Colorado. Back to the lead, Washington, Harvard, Cal Irvine, all at or near the finish line. UCLA and Santa Clara. It is UCLA along the shoreline and Santa Clara on the outside, as they both stroke hard towards the finish, and it looks like UCLA may have snuck up there and caught it unofficially. Santa Clara being in that 5th position, and trailing is Colorado.